Welcome to the downfall of the once elite investigation unit of South Africa, the Scorpions. Former President Thabo Mbeki announced the establishment of the Scorpions in June 1999, promising a special and adequately staffed and equipped investigative unit to deal with all national priority crime, including police corruption. Frank Dutton was appointed by Thabo Mbeki to spearhead this special unit. The Scorpions gained a reputation for investigating and prosecuting high-profile cases, sometimes involving high-ranking politicians of the ruling party, the African National Congress. The Scorpions led the multi-year investigation into the arms deal, which began in 2001 and which led to the conviction on fraud and corruption charges of ANC politician Tony Yengeni and businessman Shabir Sheikh, a close associate of Deputy President Jacob Zuma, who was himself ultimately charged with corruption. The Scorpions, though popular with most of the public, were controversial among politicians and government officials. Common complaints were that the details of the Scorpions' investigations were frequently leaked to the public before prosecution had commenced, that the Scorpions abused their power in exercising search and seizure warrants, including in the Zuma investigation, in which the ANC said that they had displayed Hollywood tactics. In 2003, the Scorpions prosecuted Winnie Madikizela Mandela and her broker on fraud charges. In 2004, they arrested Mark Thatcher, son of former Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, at his house in Cape Town, in relation to his suspected involvement in a coup attempt in Equatorial Guinea earlier that year.
During 1 April 2005, amid such complaints against the Scorpions, President Mbeki appointed Judge Sisi Kampepe to head a commission of inquiry, known as the Kampepe Commission, to review the mandate and location of the Scorpions. In June 2006, Mbeki decided, in consultation with Cabinet and the National Security Council, to accept in principle the recommendations of the Commission. These recommendations included that the Scorpions should continue to reside within the NPA, the Scorpions prosecutors should continue to be subject to the authority of the National Director of Public Prosecutions and to the oversight of the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development. The Scorpions should additionally be subject to the oversight of the Minister of Safety and Security on its law enforcement, as opposed to prosecutorial responsibilities. The Scorpions should continue to deal with high-level priority crimes and cases referred to it by the SAPs. And the capacity of the police should be enhanced, for example, by awarding it the same legal powers as the Scorpions and by co-locating prosecutors within its structures. In the run-up to the ANC's 52nd National Conference, Zuma ran for the ANC presidency, challenging the incumbent national president Mbeki. A key part of his campaign platform was the disbanding of the Scorpions. Zuma won the election comfortably, and the conference resolved that the Scorpions should be disbanded as a matter of urgency in order to facilitate the constitutional imperative of a single police service. When Parliament reconvened in early 2008, the disbanding of the Scorpions was announced as a legislative priority. Minister of Safety and Security, Charles Nkakula, who was at that time responsible for the SAPs, said in February that the Scorpions would be dissolved and amalgamated with a new organized crime unit of the SAPs. This was pursued through amendments to the NPA and SAPs Acts, and the ANC National Executive Committee set a deadline of June 2008 for the passage of the amendments, with a parliamentary committee, chaired by Maggie Sotyu, set up to oversee progress. In May 2008, while the relevant legislation was before Parliament, the Pretoria High Court heard an application to interdict, on constitutional grounds, the disbanding of the Scorpions. A private citizen, businessman Hugh Glenister, filed the application. The DA, the African Christian Democratic Party, the Independent Democrats, and the United Democratic Movement all participated in the hearing as friends of the court, and in a joint submission alleged that the decision to disband the Scorpions had been made not by an organ of state, but by the ANC, in an effort to protect its members from investigation and prosecution for alleged transgressions. The High Court found that it did not have jurisdiction to adjudicate a separation of powers matter, and the case went to the Constitutional Court, where it was heard and dismissed as Glenister v. President.